Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. My name is Luke Crane, aka Vision, and I'm joined by Oliver Sittler. How you doing, man?
I'm fine, thank you very much, Luke, and welcome everyone at home in front of their computers or screens. We're here in the 1992 season of DTM, where the champion at that time was Frank Bieler, Luke.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I think of DTM, this is the sort of year that I'm thinking of. This stands out for me as the epitome of DTM. Such a classic nostalgia feeling for this event here. But we have got an event for you. We've got the DTM Esports Classic Challenge, as you can see. There's 5 weeks of this championship. Today we're going to be in the DTM 1992. Next week we're going to be in the DTM 2013. Week 3, DTM 2014, and then week 4 will be the DTMs 2016. Week 5, a surprise class. But let's talk about the event as a whole here. We have got 8 minutes of qualifying for race 1, then a 15-minute timed race, and then a second race, which will be exactly the same format. And today we are at Zolder. This is going to be awesome, Oliver.
Yeah, right there where the DTM started in 1984, and where the DTM should start for this season. But as you all know, due to the coronavirus pandemic, it's moved away further into the autumn.
Yeah, not only have we got these unbelievably classic cars, it's going to be some great action. We've got some of the very best influencers, we've got some of the very best esports drivers, and also some of the very best from past and present DTM championship drivers and real-world races here. And by my count, 7 championships from DTM in total from these drivers. But Oliver, can you take us through all of the lineup here?
Yeah, we got Lukas Auer, who's back in DTM, or should be back in DTM in this season for BMW. We got Frank Bieler, as I said, the champion of 1991. We got Nick Cassidy from Super GT. Then one of the gamers is Dave Cumming. We got Robin Freins back in DTM, who was joining the German Touring Car Series from 2012 till 2017, and now he's back in the virtual car. We got Robin Freins, Ferdinand von Habsburg, Nico Müller, Gary Paffett, the double champion, René Rast, the reigning champion of DTM, and Mike Rockenfeller as well.
Yeah, then we've got Robin Rogalski, Kelvin van der Linden, Sheldon van der Linden, the 2 brothers from South Africa. We've got Robert Wickens, of course, as well, Dirk Natz. Then we've got Robert House, Brody Steen, Marcel Kovac. We've then got Ruben Leon. Then we've got Kirill Sokovikov. I'm terrible with names. And then we've got Soren Jaeger as well. So 22 drivers here. I'm not sure whether we got the full 22, but that is a star-studded lineup.
And now we have some minutes left on practice and take a look to the track. But let's talk to one of the guys, and we have the reigning DTM champion with us. He won the championship in 2017 as well as 2019. Welcome to DTM Esports Classic Challenge, René Rast.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. How do you feel sitting at home and driving your virtual race car?
Warm. I'm actually sitting in my overall, in my simulator, and I'm sweating like hell. But it's good to see some of our current DTM drivers competing virtually now. So let's see, it's going to be, I think, for sure a cool race.
Do you have any experience in these old DTM cars?
I've never driven a real one, but obviously I started yesterday testing the car. Quite different to what we are normally doing on iRacing, but yeah, it's fun.
So let's see. What do you think? Do you have any chances against the gaming pros?
Let's see. Right now I was P4, still half a second to P1, so that's a big gap, and I couldn't really repeat my lap time. So a bit of a struggle there, but let's see.
Okay, then good luck. Thank you very much, and maybe see you later. Talk to you later. Thanks for
Bye-bye. Danke.
Well, there you go. René Rast, our current champion in DTM, spearheading the real driver lineup here. They're heading into qualifying now. They've got 8 minutes here to get their best lap time in, and once the time elapses, that is it. So even if they've crossed the line, that lap will not count. It will go straight into our race. 15 minutes here. So it's kind of almost like one-shot qualifying here, Ollie. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be, because it's 22 cars on the track, which is just 4.011 kilometers long with 11 turns. It was in 1992. The track was changed to the actual layout, but I think we will have a brief overview.
Yeah, it's great to see that there are so many cars chosen here as well, which is always exciting. There's Sheldon then. He's gone for the BMW. He's from South Africa. He's on camera there as well. You can see he's got all of the manufacturer stuff on there. He's on point. His branding is going to make the sponsors very, very happy indeed. And yeah, the first lap, they're just going to warm the tyres up, just get themselves into a bit of space on track and just get a bank of time in. They do have time to put, I would say, 3 flying laps here if they're really quick around the circuit. They got out the pits early, but getting a bank of time is so, so key, Oliver.
Sheldon joined DTM for the last season for BMW in his junior season, his rookie season in 2019, and he did do some quite good qualifyings. Here we see Mike Rockenfeller, who is in this crisis, in this Corona stuff as well, driving on his simulator a lot.
He's actually in the car as well, so he should be pretty well acquainted with this car, considering he was champion with it. But we will yet to see how this goes. Look how close they are in qualifying. They're all just vying for position here already. So if this is anything to go by, the race is going to be incredible as they come up towards that final chicane here. And we're going to start to see people braking, get a bit of room then on circuit, or not, as it may look here as it comes towards the chicane. There we go. It's like a procession right now. They're all taking their time, and they kind of want to have sort of between 2 or 3 seconds between them, because there's going to be a lot of different pace drivers in this session. A lot of these drivers may not have been involved in sim racing over the last few months or ever. This could be their first ever opportunity, and there's going to be some people who are lightning fast here. All depends where their grid or their pit spot was in the pits to where they are on track right now. So here we're on board then with Rockenfeller. Through turn number 1 there, runs nice and wide out on the exit. Through turn 2, the exit really creeps up here on you as well. You've got to be very, very careful on the power. Use a bit of curb on the exit, and you can use that curb to rotate the car as well. And then you've got the turn number 3 coming up here. It's a couple of gear drop down into what would be 3rd, maybe 4th as well if you feel like you can get the car rotated, and then onto the curb on the exit there. You've got to be careful because there's a drainage system there. It's very slippery on the exit, and of course you can spin the wheels up, but with this Quattro car you're not going to be too worried about that. Through then the first chicane here at Zolder, and you can see really using the curbs there, and that Audi munching them up like there's nothing. Up the hill then towards the left-hander, my favourite corner name in motorsport, but up towards chicane number 2, and again you can take so much curb here, but you've got to be careful of the yellow curbs because it will indeed unsettle the car. Through the right-hander here, just have to let off the gas ever so slightly, but you need to get on the power early because this right-hander here is flat out. Take the apex perfectly, run out nice and wide, then you go over the crest here before you indeed hit a little bit of a straight here. You can set someone up for an overtake as we come up towards this hairpin-ish corner. Grab a bit of curb on the inside there again. Again, you can see the Audi really is struggling here actually to rotate once it does indeed get on the curb. This looks like a pretty tidy lap here from Rockenfeller, and down the straight you can see you've got no pressure from behind and really not too close to the guys in front, so this should be pretty damn good. And he comes around the final chicane here, and well, we can see then that Sokovikov is currently the leader in qualifying at 136.3, and as they all start coming across the line, the times are going to come in, and oh, there we go. Freunds then has gone up into P1 here. Rockenfeller up to P2, 9/10 off of the lead there. Pretty solid lap, Oliver.
Yeah, that was quite nice. He got the fastest first sector, as we now take a look to Robin Freunds, who is fastest overall in the meanwhile with a 1:35.4 something. So the Dutch guy is really quick. He's competing in Formula E, he's competing in DTM, and he's very well known in esports as well. Sheldon van der Linde, we got the 2019 BMW rookie up in 2nd place, and Rockenfeller is down to 3rd at the moment.
Well, there's a battle within a there's a race battle here, but then there's a brothers battle as well with Kelvin and of course Sheldon. Sheldon right now is the only one to get a time in from those 2 drivers, but yeah, brotherly bragging rights right now is going to Sheldon as it stands. René Rast was top 5 there, current DTM champion, 1.1 second now off the pace, currently in the top 6. But the times, I'll tell you what, they are pretty damn close considering there's so many different levels of driver here.
Yeah, we got Dirk Knartz in the picture at the moment. It's number 8. Actually, he's one of the biggest DTM fans, as you can say. Here we see a picture with him and Gerhard Berger, where Gerhard was signing the helmet, and some pictures in last year's DTM race. I think it was at Nürburgring. And Dirk Knartz, he's 58 years old, and he's now up to 8th position, dropped down to 9.
That's incredible stuff there. Like Gerhard Berger is... I got into motorsports because of the early 90s Formula 1, so Gerhard Berger is like a huge idol of mine. So it's great to see him getting the autograph there. Look at this, Nick Cassidy though, in a very colourful car here. I love the livery on this car. Right now, it is still the Dutchman in the lead here. And as we come up towards the, we can see here, we're trying to get a bit of track space here, a bit of time here. Looks like we've got a new pole position sitter actually, as we just quickly went off. No, we didn't. So Rene Rast up into P2 then, and actually 0.2 of a second off of the pace then. And it's an Audi front row as it stands, and they're going to be super quick off the line today, Oliver.
Yeah, they should be, because as I told earlier, it was the Audi winning the overall championship in 1991 with Frank Bieler behind the wheel. And it's again Audi's in the front, double Audi with Freins and Rust in the first row. Then it's Ben Steen with the Ford and Robin Rogalski, we know from the R8 Cup from Rüdiger Seifert in the year 2019. He got a DTM test in the winter, and now he's back with classic DTM cars, and he's up to 4.
Yeah, where'd you get this, Oliver? You know, we're in 2020. No, I mean, we're in 2020, and we're getting to see 1992 cars driven by some of the very best drivers to ever be in the DTM circuit. We've got Ford Mustang on track in 2020. That's madness. And that's the beauty of sim racing. There's Robert Wickens, we just saw momentarily. Ruben Leon, then, he is currently in P20. He's the only driver in the Opel from our grid today, which is very interesting indeed. You can see that Van der Linde is now down to P5 then. So Rogalski's up to P4 in the Audi, and well, the 3 of the top 4 are Audis here. But again, they're going to be super quick off the line, and around the corners they are going to be very, well, it's going to be like a struggle bus. They are like a bus. Look how big that Audi is. But yeah, they're going to be definitely under a lot of pressure from the rest of the cars around this circuit. Actually, Van der Linde back up to the top 4 then, and Kelvin has just got up to the top 6 then. So Sheldon versus Kelvin. It's currently P4 for Sheldon, and Kelvin is in P6.
We've seen Gary Paffett, who was struggling a bit in his Mercedes-Benz, the double DTM champion in 2005. He got his first championship, whereas Kelvin van der Linde was standing right beside the track. It's Lucas Auer now up to 5th. And by the way, in 1992, it was Kurt Team, the Mercedes-Benz EQ, who got the pole position.
Oh wow, that's great stats. Oliver will be your stat man for these 5 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. He has got facts absolutely everywhere. Ridiculous mind in terms of DTM racing. But there we go. Qualifying is nearly over here, but momentarily it is going to be Freins then who is on pole position. Rene Rast, then current champion in DTM, is in P2. An Audi front row, then Brody Steen, who is in P3, and then Sheldon van der Linde is in P4. So qualifying is over. We're about to head into the race, and now let's have a little message from our partners.
Well, in sport or in life, when you get to the top end and you want the last bit of performance, you need to have personalized data. And obviously, when you get to the top end, it's all the small details that make the difference. Even though we do the best to get the best technology possible, there's still going to be a big deceleration. And I think May is bringing the balaclava with the live. It's going to be a really big help for the medical kit, because they know exactly what's going on. They know which state the driver's in. So when that's happening, I'll feel even safer. And I know that when the doctors are coming on site, they know exactly what they need to do.
Jetzt auf Medion.de.
Welcome back then to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. We just had qualifying here for our first race at Zolder. 2 races for you today. And well, a couple of DTM drivers on the front row there then, Oliver.
Yeah, who would have thought that they compete better than the eSport pros? But as long as you're able to drive a race car pretty fast, I think you're pretty fast in the simulator or in sim racing as well, as we've seen.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the only esport out there that has like a direct correlation to the real stuff in terms of, the inputs. Most of these drivers, well, they're all using wheels to indeed get around the circuit here. But we are nearly ready for racing then, ladies and gentlemen. Just sort of gridding up here. So they've got about 40 seconds to get their car on the grid. It may start a little bit earlier if they're all ready. But it's going to be exciting here. Remember, watch out for the Audis. They will be off the line super, super quick. But through Sector 1, and especially when we get to the chicanes in Sector number 2, it could be an opportunity for the other cars here. There's the 5 red lights here then at Zolder. And, well, we are about to go green then. It's Frines on pole, and then it is in second spot, Rennie Rast. And here we go. We are off. And there also was a bit of carnage in the background there. Looks like a BMW has stacked it into a wall, but it's a very, very good start then by the Dutchman. Rennie Rast then in second. And we can see then it is Steen in third then with the Ford Mustangs. The Mustang got himself into third position. Kelvin is in fourth. Battle of the Brothers then. Where is it? Sheldon now down into ninth position. So Kelvin's now down to P5, and they're all starting to filter in here. But look at this. Rennie Rast having a little nibble up the inside, potentially through turn number 3, but actually filters back in behind the Dutchman.
He's pretty fast, and he's on the line and hunting Robin Frines, the leading guy. Robin Rogalski had some serious problems in the start. He fell down to P number 5, but he's back on 4th in the grid, and is Robin. He's still fighting to keep his car in front.
Absolutely, went a little bit defensive there and actually slowed up Rennie Rast here, which is actually given the opportunity here then for Brody Steen. Brody Steen currently in third, but look at Audi in fourth position. Bit of contact then in towards that chicane, and actually there's a bit of a mistake there by Rogalski, but Rogalski's absolutely nailed it to get himself up to third position. Now, actually, no, Rennie Rast has retaken that spot here. But look at this then. Brody Steen up into P2, and now he chases down Freund in the lead of this race up towards then the right-hander here, which is basically a hairpin, and Rennie Rast looking for that opportunity once again, and well, actually holds on to that position. Sorry, Rogalski is now under pressure here from Kelvin van der Linde. So the South African's got the inside line. He's got the inside line here for P4. He's actually just going to try and make a double move, and he's got it done. Down towards the chicane here, no contact, and he gets the job done there. Superb stuff by Kelvin van der Linde. And I tell you what, Battle of the Brothers, don't worry about that. It's Battle of the DTM drivers. He's right up there, and now he's going to chase down the front 2.
And up in the front is Robin Frines, who's having Brody Sheen in his back, and quite a bit of a gap to the third place guy, which is Kelvin van der Linde. And yeah, it's 2 Audis in the top 3 at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there that Kelvin took the optimum line through there, and you can see Rennie Rast and Rogalski there trying to dive one up the inside, but unfortunately they would lose a lot of time on the exit. There's Nick Cassidy then in that multicoloured rainbow car. Love to see that livery, and he is in behind the Austrian driver in 6th position. Oh dear, there's a big bin there in the background. That is the BMW driver. Now, is that Dirk Natz? It might be Dirk Natz. Yes, it is. Yeah. He's going to end up down to the back of the grid here. And, well, biggest DTM fan in the world right now is also the biggest fan of the Wolves right now. Not ideal. But look at this battle for the lead then. Oliver Robin Freund leads the way here with qualifier Brody Steen in 2nd spot.
Yeah, and he's struggling a lot because Brody Steen, I think he's on fire in 2nd place. He's keeping pressure up on leading Robin Frines, and the gap is closing to a 3rd position, Kelvin van der Linde. As we take a look back in the grid, it's Dave on 16th position, Wickens behind him on 17, then Leon Paffett and Jäger, he's last, and the guy we've seen turning his car around, Dirk Natz, he's back in 20th position at the moment. But this is the battle in the front, and it's Brody Steen who's trying to get the lead and trying to get Robin Frines behind him.
Yeah, Frines there really cut his nose off, really cut Steen's nose off there on the exit of the chicane, and managed to hold on to the position here. And actually, Steen's lucky to not get a slow-down penalty for cutting the corner at the end of that lap there. But it is still the lead then for the Dutchman. Kelvin van der Linde is still in 3rd position. Look at the BMW close up there. Actually, no, we're on board then with Habsburg, who is now in P10 here, and he's actually closing in on Sheldon. But we're going to see over the next 5 weeks, Oliver, that these drivers are all going to improve. A lot of these drivers, it'll be their first time in a competitive environment within this game. So we're going to see, I think, different winners, different podium sitters as well. We won't see, the names that are at the back of the grid, so to speak, today at the back of the grid for the rest of the championship.
Yeah, it's good to know that every one of the drivers has a proper race seat at home. And Robin Frines did some practice in the last weeks already in the Audi Sport e-tron Division GT Cup from RCCO. And we take a look into the car of Mike Rockenfeller, who's P8 at the moment. One word to Mr. Ferdinand von Habsburg. He's on P10 at the moment. He was driving DTM in Aston Martin cars in the last season, and he joined the WRT squad for this year's DTM season. So welcome, Ferdinand, the Austrian guy in DTM 2020 as well.
Absolutely, but look at this then, the top 4, maybe top 7 are all closing up here. Looks like Brian's had a pretty poor lap and it's closed the field up here. Steen then is going to try and go nice and wide here, try and get a better exit out of this chicane. But Audi, we know how good it is as accelerating out of the corners here. And actually Kelvin van der Linde there, oh, look at the Bargy as they come across the line here. And it is going to be a 1-2 then for Audi. Kelvin van der Linde will take the lead. He's given a bit of slipstream then to René Rast as well. But actually no, Brody Steen moves back up into P2. So the braking of that Mustang into turn 1 really has got him out of jail there. But those 2 Audis are all over him like a rash.
The quad pros are rolling a bit in the chicanes, but still they can manage to keep their nose in front. Like Robin Freins still is in P1. He's struggling a lot because Brody Steen is very, very good on working the steering wheel, as we're on board with the 4th placed René Rast, the double DTM champion, the only guy who won 6 races in a row in DTM so far.
Told you guys, Oliver is the Mr. Statman of the series. Love to hear the stats. He's just dropped a little bit of pace there. Went on to 2 wheels, just entertainment for the fans. But it is so close now. Top 6 separated by nothing. You can cover them with a loincloth at this point of the race. But it is Freins that still leads this race with 9 minutes to go. Steen in 2nd. Kelvin van der Linde is in 3rd. René Rast 4th. And then we've got Rogowski. And then we've got Nick Cassidy as well. And Auer is nearly closing up as well. Yeah, it is. The top 7 are very close to. But actually, you can see in the background there, it is Sheldon and Rockefeller trying to, it is Sheldon trying to go up into the top 8 here. Rockefeller's not having any of it. He's making that Audi Quattro as wide as possible if it needs to be made any wider here. And well, you can see he's not the happiest here is Sheldon. And
I think he's complaining a bit.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be a racing driver without complaining, that's a fact.
Yeah, right.
It can never be their fault, that is for sure. But you can see that Rockefeller is using every ounce of his experience right now. And, well, you know, it's the young man versus the professor as it stands. And Sheldon not able to get the job done here at all. We're too wide here then. We've got Muller then taking on the Russian up the inside. And the BMW should be good at rotating the car. And Audi will struggle on the exit here. But then it's the initial acceleration phase that the Audi gets him out of jail. And, well, actually, it's a pretty comprehensive move in the end with 8 minutes to go. And, oh, there's a spin. Oh, no. Nick Cassidy, who was battling for the lead here. He was in the top 6. He was right at the back of the top 6 there. And unfortunately, it is fallen for him. He's now down into what would be P13, I believe, which is not ideal here. And you can see there, you can see the strain on his face. He is not happy at all. But, you know, again, the race is still happening at the front, so we're all good here. And actually, looks like we've got a new leader. It is Steen who leads the race then up towards the 2nd chicane. And, well, he's got a nice little gap here. And actually, Freins then and Kelvin van der Linde having a battle. We've got 4 Audis in behind them right now. But right now, it is all about Ford. Ford winning this race. Brody Steen, but he's showing his class right now.
Incredible. He already got a gap between him and Robin Freins, who's in 2nd.
He's off the circuit. Sorry, went into the grass. He's recovered that really well, actually. And that Mustang looks like it's right on the edge here. And actually under braking, snaking in. But look at this side-by-side action then between Kelvin and Freins. And Freins still holds on here. Sorry for cutting you off there, Oliver. I thought that the Ford was gone.
One of the 2 Fords in the field is in leading position at the moment, and we're on board with a 2nd place Robin Freins now. He's under big pressure from the reigning GT Masters champion Kelvin van der Linde, who's on a 3rd position. He won the series for the first time in 2014, and his teammate was René Rast this time.
In the background, looked like an Audi may have just rolled there, just casual roll here at Zolder. It's all for the fans. But I tell you what, this is how you do esports properly. This has been incredible. This is race 1. You know, a lot of these drivers would not have had their opportunity before. Look at this, side by side. Kelvin then is officially going to get P2 here. And Freins, who led the race for the most part, is now down into P3. But he's gone late on the brakes then, and Freins is going to retake the spot here. But who's this going to work out best for? Well, it's going to work out best for Brody Steen. Brody Steen now, looking at his rear view mirror, licking his lips, smile like a Cheshire cat. He is going to be buzzing that these guys are fighting so strongly for this position. It means he can just drive away. But look at these Audi drivers. There's argy-bargy here, Oliver, but it's real hard but real fair.
Yeah, it was Kelvin van der Linde who was over the curbs, but still in 2nd position, whereas Brody Steen, we see him here right and way in front of the field, and after or behind him on 2nd spot and lower There's a big battle going on between Kelvin van der Linde, Robin Freins, René Rast and Robin Rogalski. And then we have the fastest of the BMWs. It's Sheldon van der Linde on P6.
Yeah, he's got the job done on Rockefeller there, but did you see the smile on Kelvin's face? He is loving every second of it.
Yeah,
That is absolutely beaming. And that's what it's all about. Ultimately, this is a fun championship. It's for all you DTM fans to have something to watch your favourite drivers from present and, of course, the past. And, well, they've all embraced it here. Hopefully you guys at home are enjoying this. We've got this for the next 5 weeks as well. And, wow, what a kickoff this has been. This is what esports should be. And I tip my hat to all of the drivers. But as it stands, 5 minutes to go then. We're 2/3 into this race here at Zolder. And Steen leads the way. Kelvin van der Linde is in second spot. And he's gone from 6th on the grid to 2nd. So he could be someone to watch out for in race number 2 if he gets qualifying right. We've got Freins, who's led this whole race pretty much for the first half. Now he's down into P3. René Rast then is, well, as you can see, Freins here putting the pressure on Kelvin. Kelvin not able to get away here. And if they start going side by side, especially through these chicanes, you can hemorrhage time at a circuit like this. It's an opportunity for people like René Rast and Rogalski to close the gap here. We've got the Opel driver then of Ruben Leon. Looks like he's going to be overtaken here by Gary Paffett, of course, 2-time champion. And is it the biggest gap between championship wins for Gary ever in the real DTM, Oliver? You're the stats man.
I'm not quite sure.
Is it 13 years?
It was 2000. Oh yeah, 2005, and the second title was 2018. It was 13 years in between. Yeah, you're right, completely.
Had to bring my own fact to the table.
He's one of the oldest or most experienced guys in the new DTM. Started in the year 2000. In this year we started the DTM in Hockenheim, all of modern DTM. This year should be the return to Zolder. About 1 week ago the DTM should start their engines for the first time in this season, but now on this Sunday we're starting the computers and the eSport series for the first time in DTM history, with the opening round in Zolder. And then week by week we get more close racing than you will see today, as we are pretty close already for these first and inaugural events.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Nick Cassidy, though. He's lost the position once again then to House, but like this just shows the quality of the field. He was battling up the lead of this race earlier on, and now he's struggling to get through the field, down in 13th position. Oh, there's a big off here, and that is Sheldon van der Linde. It's the second time we've seen him make a mistake here, and that was at turn 1. Last time he was at turn 2, and now he's got all that work to do again. And well, we've already seen him grimace a few times under the camera. Wayne sees not happy there at all, but he's got a chance of redemption in race number 2. So of course we've seen he's got some serious pace, but it's the battle of the brothers right now is indeed Kelvin winning out. But look at this, Brody Steen. He took his time, didn't he, Oliver? Took his time to get through the field. He had about 4 drivers to overtake at one point, and he's managed, and there's an Audi party as well. So he spoiled the Audi party today, but he finds himself in P1 here. Kelvin, after all the pressure he's got in behind him, he's just managed it nicely. Of course, it took him a while to get up to that position as well. From P6 on the grid, P2, he'll be super happy with this. But I am just super impressed with the driving standards from these drivers.
It's incredible what Robin Freins did to keep Brody behind his back, but he did not manage, and now it's Kelvin leading the Audi pack from position 2. It's Robin Freins and René Rast who are still in charge for the last step of the podium. René Rast, I think he's battling right till the end to put his foot up with the 3rd step, or maybe the 2nd one in the podium. And we see the back camera from Kelvin van der Linde on position 2, and he's now overtaken. No, but Robin Freins tried to overtake, and now he managed it, and René Rast through as well. So Kelvin is down to 4th.
Tell you what, he's still smiling. I love it. Kelvin's still smiling, even though he's lost 2 spots there. He's now got a battle for the podium. Look at this, almost 3 wide. Then up towards turn number 1. Marcel Kovac then, unfortunately, well, actually he's going to make the move here. He's going to make the overtake up to P12 then. And next up for him is the Russian. Can he get, oh, he's trying to make a move up the inside. It's only going to slow them both down here, which then puts that Mustang in the charge for that potential top 10. Not quite going to work out though as it stands. But look at this then, the battle for the podium. Oh wow, synchronized 2-wheeling. It's all for the fans right now, Oliver. They're just showcasing what these cars can do. It's incredible stuff. And it is Freins then still in P2. Then Kelvin van der Linde wants that podium so badly. He's thrown it away really himself here. But again, he is the smiler of the pack. Look at him. He just He's loving every second of this, just as I am here. But we've only got one more lap remaining after this, so I don't believe this is the final lap of the race. Plenty of time, but you can see that Frines, then, who led this race for the most part, is back up to P2. Brody Steno is off. Oh, Frines is wide there. Frines goes wide. Rennie Rast then trying to find that gap here as well. And well, Rennie Rast, of course, our current DTM champion, would want to get P2. Obviously, he wants to win everything, but to show his class against Esports drivers. Oh, late move on the inside there by Kelvin. Kelvin there, letting Rennie Rast know that he's there with a little slap on the bum.
What a great racing we see here. The clock is ticking down. It's just some 20 seconds to go, where we're looking at the 17th spot with Dave Gaming, who's one of the eSport guys, taking his seat in this race, sitting in board on the car of Gary Pafford, who's in 16th position at the moment. Yeah, not the day for Mercedes guys, but I think Gary will improve for the next races as well. We are back in the front.
We are. I did join the chat earlier where they were all practicing, and Gary was the only vocal driver. He is really, really happy to be here, which is great here. But look at this then. Wow. We are on board with Robin Frines. It looks like Kelvin has got the job done. He's back up into the podium spots then as we come through that first chicane here. And there's a mistake then by Frines. And, well, Kelvin's going to have to go the long way round. But actually, he would have had the inside line for the chicane. And I think you see that Robin Frines has really understood that situation here, and then goes defensive once again. And, well, we know Rennie Rast, if he sees a gap, he's going for it. So he needs to be very, very careful. It looks like Brody Steen is going to take this win pretty comprehensively in the end. Didn't look like that at the start of this race, but he's shown his class to the rest of this field. But look at this, it is anyone from these three drivers really, unless it's contact, could be from four drivers to who gets the podium. So it will be Brody Steen that does take the checkered flag here for race number one. But look at this for P2, P3. But it's Frines currently leading here. Are we going to see some late fireworks in this race number one of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge? And you can see defensive move there by Frines. Kelvin van der Linde's looking to make the opportunity for himself, and well, oh, there's contact between the two drivers. Kelvin's all the way round. He gets helped back round here. He's going to take P4. Rennie Rast will take that final spot on the podium. And wow, there's some proper argy-bargy there at the end. But it's almost like Rennie Rast took him out and then helped him get back round. Kelvin is still smiling.
Yeah, but first of all, congratulations to our first winner. It's Brody Steen in one of the two Fords in the field. We got Robin Frines on the second spot, and here we take a look at the winning car, who gained some time out in the front because of the battles going on behind him between the second down to the fourth place driver. This is fastest of the BMWs is Sheldon van der Linde on P8. He's from South Africa, and yeah, he's with us in this first round of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge here at Zolder.
I'll tell you what, Oliver, like, I didn't know what to expect from this because there's so many different abilities in terms of racing, real racing, sim racing. We've got influencers here as well. Man, my mind has been blown. That was an exceptional kickoff to this challenge. Unbelievable stuff there. But it is Brody Steen that will take that checkered flag, and very well deserved. Again, he did have to battle through the field at the start. He had to make 4 overtakes to get up into the lead. But once he got into the lead, he just made it his own race. And there we go, the official results then. Brody Steen takes P1. It's P2 then for Frines, P3 for Rennie Rast. Kelvin van der Linde, still smiling, is in P4. And we are now going to head to a little break from our partners.
Jetzt auf medion.de.
gentlemen, what a first race that was there. Oh, Brody Steen does take the win. But now, Ollie, I think we're going to do a little interview here with Ben Green.
I think so. He's a BMW youngster driving in DTM's new supporting series, DTM Trophy, with the Team FK performance. And he has the best ever racing seat because he's sitting in his crash Ginetta. Hi, Ben.
Hi there, how you doing? Yes, I'm actually inside the race car in my house.
That is great. What's the story behind this Ginetta car?
So in 2017, I raced in the Ginetta series in the UK, and I got caught up in someone else's crash, and then the car was written off, so I was ready to go in the bin, and we said, well, why not turn it into a simulator?
How much do you enjoy being part of this DTM Esports series here?
Oh, it's fantastic, and I'd like to say thanks for everyone for getting me involved. Obviously, I'm racing a DTM Trophy this year, so it's great to get in amongst the real DTM grid in amongst this quarantine period.
Yeah, you can practice to compete against the proper DTM drivers already, which is really great. And how was your first race here in Solder now?
I've had better races. I'm looking forward to the second one. So yeah, we're qualifying in a bit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, then good luck and thanks for joining, Ben.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so young. God, I'm so envious right now. But what a sim rig that is. But it's just great to see all of these people come together there. And again, he just said didn't have the best of races, but still smiling, still having fun, still enjoying himself. And that's what sim racing is all about. Doesn't matter what happened in the first race. They've all got basically a brand new car now, Ollie.
Yeah, obviously. Even Ben, who has sitting in his crash one and joining with a new car into this Q2, the second qualifying for this race here in Solder, the season opener for DTM Esports Classic Challenge. We got another 8 minutes for the guys to qualify, and let's take a look to the BMWs. Lucas Auer is out in the front in his M3.
Yeah, he's definitely got himself there out the front, which is absolutely key. We saw that in qualifying one. People were on quick laps near the end of the session, and unfortunately they didn't manage to cross the line and get those laps finished. So yeah, it's absolutely vital to get out nice and early. And it's going to be interesting to see the drivers that maybe didn't finish in the top 10 in the first race. How much did they learn about the car they're driving? How much did they learn about the physics within this sim? Because all games are different, whether they may have some experience with different games as well. So it's all about the learning process. And like I said, over the course of this championship, we're going to see different results from different drivers. That is 100% for certain. But will we see that Audi fight at the front once again? Of course, it was Brody Steen in the Mustang that managed to get the dub. But will we see those Audis viciously battling here? And well, will Rene Rast get his own back on Kelvin van der Linden?
Yeah, we see Ferdinand from Habsburg sitting in his simulator at home in Austria. He was joining me for the last Formula E race for commentary in qualifying down in Marrakesh, where he was visiting his sister. And we take a look back into the Ginetta of Ben Green. He's at the moment third on the grid, but he was out third as no one has done a proper lap yet. So we'll see where he's gonna be after crossing the line. A moment, the number 3 in front of his name, but here we go.
This is the first flying lap.
No, it was a warm-up lap.
Yeah, this is the first flying
so
lap for them here, Ollie.
Yeah.
They've got the tyres nice and warm here, but we're on board then with Ben. And I'm really impressed with how smooth his inputs are here. Again, he obviously has a pretty big sim background, considering he's racing. His simulator is a bloody car. So yeah, he's definitely got some experience here, but we're watching him then. He's actually in a green car as well. Yeah, that's brilliant. Through then turn number 3 here. Nice long straight up and towards the first chicane. He may just be able to get some tow then from the BMW in front. It's going to be close as to whether he does indeed. If he closes up a little bit more here, he will definitely get the benefit of the tow. You can see using all the curb he possibly can there through the first chicane. High risk, high reward, but it's qualifying at the end of the day, so he needs to try and get every ounce of time out of this circuit then through. But again, the best name in racing in general. You can grab loads of curb then through the second chicane here, and again, just it does unsettle the car, does over-rotate the car for you, but it looks like he's got it dialed in pretty damn nicely here. Again, using as much curb on the inside there so you can take that corner flat out. The Audis might not be able to take it flat out there. The BMWs should be pretty good here. And actually, 2 purple sectors here for Sector 1 and Sector 2. Out of everybody on circuit, no one's beaten them as well. So that will change live if someone beats it. So Ben Green is looking pretty damn good right now then, along that final back straight here up towards that final chicane. And again, it doesn't look like he's closed too much in on that BMW, but he definitely has, just ever so slightly here. But this is looking like a very good time then from Ben, maximising the exit speed here on the curve across the line then. And well, he will put the second time in actually as they cross the line, but will Ben be the quickest? Well, actually, there you go. It's all of a sudden gone green there. You can see Ollie on our screen. So that means that there's someone behind who's gone even quicker. And actually, Oa is the quickest right now. Rene Rast now puts it up into second position. 300ths of a second then off of pole position here. Muller now puts it up into third position there. So that was a pretty solid lap there by Green. But wow, look at the other pace horses in this race right now. Kelvin van der Linde, of course, then, who was battling for the lead pretty much all race last time, crosses the line. And there we go, up to P3, and it's only 2/10 separating the top three right now, Oliver.
It's fantastic what we see, and it's great to see that the BMWs are improving as well. Lucas Auer is the fastest at the moment, the 1:35.727 by just 4 minutes. Clock on the clock ticking down, but still some way to go. We take a look at Nick Cassidy, who's in P12 at the moment, so he's he's slowest, but purple sector 2, so he's gonna move up quite a bit after crossing the line. Here we are, he's in the third position at the moment, so that we get 2 BMWs out in the front with Lucas Auer on P1 and Nick Cassidy on P3, but fastest of the Audis is Rene Rast on P2.
Yeah, but starting to see the BMWs come through. So starting to see the BMWs come through here strong. Rene Rast then, of course, is splitting the BMWs there in P2. It looks like we may have lost Brody from race 1. He has rejoined the server. We've had the information, but whether he gets into the race or not, we're not too sure. Hopefully he does, but he will probably not get a qualifying lap in. So we might see the race winner from race number 1 actually go from the back of the grid. That will be exciting in itself. And actually, Auer's gone quicker again here. And now he is nearly 3/10 of a second quicker. And actually, Rene Rast goes quicker again, but it is still 2.5 the difference. And the Austrian is, well, the star of the field in race 2.
Lucas Auer is just back from Japan. He was racing there for 2 years after leaving the BMW or the Mercedes squad in DTM. He's back in BMW outfit at the moment, but he's down to second spot because Kelvin van der Linde moved his car out to P1.
Oh, here we go. Here he is. Look at it, Kelvin. Oh, he's so happy. I love this guy already. He is an absolute we can't hear him, but he's an absolute character by his smile. And it's infectious as well. He's having fun. Everyone else has fun. But I tell you what, Dirk Nats then has currently done the quickest first sector. And actually he's gone quicker second sector of his best time, but it's not the quickest overall here. So it's going to be close. But yeah, Kelvin van der Linde is now leading by less than 200ths of a second. But look at this guy here. Rene Rast has done a purple first sector here. He is a man on a mission. Right now, we had the old Kelvin and Sheldon battle of the brothers, but Rene Rast has stuck himself in there, and he wants to battle Kelvin every single race. You see he's P3 right now, and he wants to make it an Audi 1-2. Sector 2 is his fastest sector on his own, but it's not purple here, as he comes up in towards that final chicane. Robert Wickens just goes up to P15 there on the screen. As we come through that final chicane here, perhaps a nice bit of curve there, and you can see that they're taking very different lines to when they're side by side with each other through that final chicane. It's nice to see that Rene and Kelvin were both facing the right direction this time as well. Across the line then for Rene Rast. Does he improve on his time? Doesn't look like he has. No, so he stays P3, and that's going to be it. He will not have enough time to finish his lap. But, well, Sheldon then does want to have the brother battle here. He's done Sector 1 and Sector 2. Purple here, Ollie. He could see a pole position change.
Indeed, we can. It's just some meters or half the track to go when Sheldon is going to be over the line. But I got another nice fact thanks to Helge. I say hello, and it was the first ever victory of a Mustang in an official DTM race, and we see Sheldon crossing the line in his BMW, and he moved up for 10 spots up to 7th place at the moment, right behind Nick Cassidy.
Yeah, Sector 3 really let him down there. And, well, we've got Nick Cassidy here doing some donuts for us. Is that on purpose or not? In the Tutti Frutti Mobile, as I'm going to call it for the rest of its time on our grid. But no, he's got back going here. We've now got Auer then, who's gone down to P2 because of Kelvin. Can he retake that pole position spot then? Oh, he's not going to have enough time, is he? 14 seconds. No. I think this could have been pole position, ladies and gentlemen. But again, he will not get to finish this lap. So that, well, he's going to be straight away. He's going to be hot underneath that helmet if he was wearing a helmet, that's for sure. And it will not be enough time, unfortunately. So Kelvin van der Linde then with a chance of redemption here from race number 1. Can he go out and take the win? In second spot will be Lucas Auer. He's from Austria. Then we've got Nico Müller, the Swiss driver, who is in P3. Nice.
I'm wondering a bit because the guy who was on pole for the first race, Robin Freins, he's down to in 12th position, but nevertheless, let's see what happens in the race as the cars are going out into the grid.
Absolutely. Now we're going to take another little look from messages from our partners.
Jetzt auf Radion.de.
Back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. We've had race number 1, where indeed it was Brody that took the victory, and well, he's actually going to be starting from the back of the grid because he's not got a lap time in. We've got 30 seconds left of the warm-up. It will be Kelvin van der Linde, Oliver, who takes pole position.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to what he's able to show in the second race. He was pretty fast and pretty strong in the first one already, and here we see Robert Wickens, who joined DTM again after his heavy crash in his Indy car, and I'm really happy to see the Canadian guy back behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, one of the most inspirational stories, not only in motorsport, just in motorsport in general. Yeah, not just real world motorsport or sim racing, just in general. So yeah, great to see him back, and well, hopefully he gets a nice result here in race number 2 for Canada. Oh, Canada, oh. No, I'm not going to go that far. Right, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. They are indeed gridding up here, but you didn't expect a little bit of singing from me, Oliver, hey?
Yeah, it's BMW and an Audi in the first row, and everyone is getting ready for the second race of this DTM Esports Classic Challenge.
Oh, there's the 5 red lights here. We are ready to rock and roll then. Watch out for the Quattros. They will be quick off the line as per usual. And it is race number 2 then of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. And look at those Audis. They are all, you can see them all go to the middle of the circuit straight away looking for, now well, it's already a 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 Audis at the front. And that poor BMW, again, needs to get the work done in the middle sector here. But it is the lead then for Kelvin van der Linde. René Rast then is in second. And we've got Nico Müller in third spot there. The BMW runs a little bit wide, and now he's going to open the door then for Rockenfeller. So Rockenfeller up into P4, and well, we've got an Audi party once again.
Incredible, and the cars are big. They look like battleships compared to the M3 BMW, but still they are pretty fast on the throttle because of the Quattro they delivered in this car. They dominated something in the DTM because of the four-wheel drive. We got Robin Freins on P7 at the moment, and it's 4 Audis in front with van der Linde, Rast, Müller and Rockenfeller.
There are 3 or 4 cars there playing with each other, building sandcastles in the sand traps. Not ideal for them, and it looks like it's Nick Cassidy and Gary Paffett then who have taken the worst of that situation. But plenty of time, 13 minutes to go, and Gary Paffett is out of this race. But as it stands then, it is 6 Audis in the top 7. Kelvin van der Linde leads, but well, he had a hellacious battle with René Rast in race number 1. And are we going to see round number 2 here from the 2 heavyweights? And look at this then, Robert Wickens. Oh, Robert Wickens gets turned. He's still smiling. And it's actually Brody then, winner from race number 1, who's turned him. And I think there was just a little bit of oversteer on the exit there. Lost the rear of slightly in a kind of 50-50 situation. They both kind of made a mistake. And it's Brody that doesn't go up the order here. Look at this though, side by side then. It is Freins, of course, who led most of the first race, who will indeed take the move, or make the move there on Rogalski. So Rogalski now down into P7, and they've got Sheldon van der Linde then in P8, just in behind them here. But it is Kelvin who leads the way as it stands with Rene in second. But look at this then, that BMW trying to find a little opportunity, Oliver, isn't he? Trying to find a little bit of space to make that overtake. But there we go, here he is. We're on board with Sheldon as it stands through the right-hander. And well, you see how much quicker the car is to rotate and get on the power. But then it's this bit, it's the acceleration of that Audi, the Quattro engine. Just like a, I don't know, it's like a rocket ship right now.
Yeah, it looks like. Sheldon is struggling a bit on the brakes. The car is moving a lot, but he's in the back of Robin Rogalski and his Audi Quattro at 7th spot. And fastest of the BMWs is Lucas Auer, who just moved in front, or moved one step forward to 5th place at the moment. And there was some slight contact between Sheldon van der Linde on P8 and Robin Rogalski on P7, but it seems not that the Audi moved more with his touch, as we are on board with Lucas Auer on P5, and he got attacked by Robin Freins, who's down to the inside.
Oh, he pinned it.
Gained one position.
He pinned it there. The Audi should not be able to do that. Auer, take a bow. Freins, take a bow. That was an incredible move there. And, well, the Austrian's not going to be too pleased with that. But the job has been done, and now he's under another assault from, guess what? Another Audi. Rogalski just in behind him then. Wants to make it a top 6 of the Audis. But Kelvin then is, well, look at the front 3 here. It is Rene Rast just in behind Kelvin van der Linde. And that battle, I feel like, is starting to heat up here. Kelvin had a few tenths of a second lead. And, well, in this race, as we've seen, it's quite a big margin for these drivers, because it's normally hundreds. And you can see there, oh, Freins really on the limit there. Wow.
Yeah, he was struggling a lot. He has to lift his throttle to get the car under control again, but he still managed to be in position number 5 and did not let Lucas Auer pass, as we take a look inside to the car of Mike Rockenfeller, who's on position 4 at the moment, and he's under big pressure from Robin Freins, the Dutch guy he knows really well from all these years in DTM, but he's his big opponent right behind.
Yeah, what I'm loving. Oh, here we go. This is for the lead. This is for the lead. Kelvin runs wide. And now he's made a mistake here. Rene Rast is going to have to go the long way round here, though. And, wow, a little bit of door banging here. Nico Muller is in behind him as well. He's almost pushing Kelvin van der Linde back into the lead of this race. I think he has just about got him here. Kelvin will have the inside line. Oh, all 3 of them touched there. They're all 3 going to, yeah, they're going to be fine. Although Kelvin's going to run off circuit. So Kelvin's now dropped from 1st down to 3rd position. They've got 2 Audis in behind them. But now Nico Muller has gone from 3rd to 1st.
Incredible. He was driving the Formula E simulator for Audi in the last few years, and now he managed to get into Formula E for the Dragon racing team of Jay Penske. But still, it's a complete different world here in sim racing. We take a look at Robin Freins, who had to struggle a lot and let Lucas Auer pass at this moment up to the 5th spot. It's Sheldon van der Linde on 7. Oh no, Lucas Auer is back now on P6 as we take a look at Robin Rogalski on P12.
Rogalski and Freins have had a coming together here. So Rogalski and Freins have had a coming together, and they're both now down the order here. Look at now the BMWs are making an assault here on Freins as well. So there we go. Auer back up into P5, and in behind them they have got then the Russian driver Sokovikov. I'm terrible with names, I apologize. Trying to get involved here as well. Here's Sheldon van der Linde also trying to get involved, trying to, well, actually, no, Freins is back up ahead of both of them here, so Freins has got the job done. But yeah, it was Rogalski, and it was indeed Freins who had a little bit of coming together. Rogalski all the way down in 12th position now. But it is still all about that front 4. It's Nico Muller who leads this race then, ladies and gentlemen. Rene Rast in 7th, Kelvin 2nd, Kelvin van der Linde is in 3rd. But look at this, look at all of the action going on right now. I don't know how we've got so many drivers still pointing in the right direction, but we do, which is great news. But the BMWs are having their own race, and so are the Audi.
Pointing in the right direction is nice words. But we take a look into Ben Green's car again, the Crash Ginetta from 2017, the guy who's going to compete in DTM Trophy in this season. But we're inside in his BMW on P8 at the moment. He's 3rd of the BMWs, behind Auer and van der Linde on P6 to 8. But in the front, it's still Nico Muller, Rene Rast and Kelvin van der Linde on the top 3 spots, while the clock is ticking down. It's 8.5 minutes left.
Yeah, 8.5 minutes left then. You see again the BMWs in the mid-pack here having a nice battle. But again, Muller leads the way. Rene Rast 2nd, Kelvin van der Linde 3rd, and Rockenfeller is in 4th. How close is Rockenfeller to the lead of this race? Be interesting to know here. I want to check out the Audis at the front. But we're on board there. You can see we've got Ben Green in his rig as well as in the Tic Tac car. But here we go then. We're up to the front. His Rockefeller's just dropped off the pace ever so slightly here, but he's in a safe P4 right now. Freins then is not really putting too much pressure on from P5. But look at the front three here. It's only going to take René Rast and Muller to start battling, and Kelvin will have that opportunity here. So it might be worth looking at an onboard here from Kelvin. He's got the best seat in the house then for the battle of the leaders. But again, Rockefeller loving being back in that Audi here as it stands then. Here we go. There's Kelvin on a board. We go through then that second chicane, and look at this then. René Rast is all over the back of Nico Muller. They're almost high-fiving each other as they go through the corners here. And actually a bit of a mistake there, a little bit of a run wide by Nico Muller. The pressure really starting to indeed tell here. René Rast trying to find a gap up the inside. Oh, he's turning! Nico Muller's on the grass. What are you going to stop? No, he's not. But he's actually maybe going to hold on to P1. René Rast then is going to potentially take the lead of this race. But now, all of a sudden, Kelvin van der Linde is back in the battle here. Rockefeller will be looking from a few seconds back thinking, I want an opportunity here. Let me have an opportunity here. René Rast now down to third position. Nico Muller still in the lead. René Rast now takes second position. Kelvin loses out there with the battle for the lead. And these three then, with 6-7 minutes to go, I don't think my heart can take it. But who is going to come out top out of these three?
Incredible racing we've seen, a bit unfair. You think it's allowed to touch the car at the light edge of in the back?
No, definitely not. But again, they're all smiling. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everyone's still in position. And actually, Nico Muller took the brunt of it. That guy's still in the lead. That is a hell of a talent to have. Look at this. Right on the edge. Oh, late dive up the inside by René Rast. René Rast takes the lead. Kelvin van der Linde crosses hands there, but manages to keep it going. And look, he's still buzzing. He's loving it. And he's again hoping these two in front do battle. But René Rast then leads the way here. Nico Muller trying to get back involved. No! Two wheels! Nearly rolls the car. Nico Muller is not going to be able to take advantage of that. But again, Kelvin is going to close up. I think that Rockefeller may have a little nibble here as well, side by side as they come through the second chicane here at Zolder. Then you can see that Nico's just trying to get a better exit here. There's Kelvin. Kelvin is like a predatory shark right now. He is waiting for blood, that is for sure.
Almost 6 minutes ago, but we've seen so great racing on the second position at the moment. It's Nico Muller who's putting some pressure on the leading René Rast. He's trying it on the inside, on the outside here in this corner again up the hill, but still he cannot manage to pass the leading car of René, the double DTM champion. And Nico Muller, the runner-up of last year's season, now managed to put his car into the front, while René Rast is taking a bit of advantage by leaving the track and just cutting.
He's going to take a slowdown for penalty here. He's slowing up then. He's probably going to lose 2 spots here. But welcome to the rallycross section of this championship there from René Rast. But they are still super, super close. And René actually did not lose the position there. So that is a testament to the slowdown penalties here, that he had to slow down, but he still didn't lose the position because it was not his fault there. Nico Muller is actually the one who lost the spot here. Kelvin van der Linde up to P2. And I'll tell you what, this is the most fun I think I've ever had casting a race. But by God, is this the most difficult as well. Along the back straight then towards that first chicane. And while they've got a couple of cars in behind them, if they keep battling like this, they will start to get involved. But it's anyone's guess who's going to win here. René Rast then, current champion of DTM. He's not going to be wanting to give this up easy, Oliver. That is for certain. But Kelvin van der Linde, he'll want to get ahead of him as soon as he possibly can.
There we can see what the computer kids are able to do. The rookie in DTM and competing against the reigning double DTM champion. As we take a look at Lucas Auer, who's down in 6th spot and faster with BMWs, having Sheldon van der Linde right in his back on P7 and Ben Green on P8.
Oh God, did you just say that? See what the computer kids can do. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, I'm gonna call myself the computer kid for the rest of my time. And wow, René Rast is P5. What has happened there? That is not ideal at all. And well, now it's Freins back up to the top 3. Nico Muller leads here. Van der Linde, they're still side by side. They are side by side through the chicane here. Wow. Kelvin van der Linde takes the lead. He does take. No, it's not. Sorry, Nico Muller is off into the distance then. So it is Nico Muller who leads the race then. Kelvin van der Linde is second and Freins is in 3rd spot. So yeah, you can see that Kelvin not able to get the job done there. And Nico actually makes the overtake here. I don't know how many changes of position we've had for the lead of this race, but it's been bloody brilliant.
Incredible incredible, just great what we've seen. And it's Robin Freins. There was quite a gap between P3 and 4 when Robin was back in 4th position, but he managed to move up to 2nd, and we got a Kelvin van der Linde with a great drift thing. So it's not rallying here, or it seems like we have some rallycross inserts as well. But he's down, he's lost 2 spots, I think.
Yeah, but how did he save that? That is impressive. That is skills of the highest degree here. We've got Brody Steen then, of course, winner from race 1, up to P8. No, he's going to be up to P7. Wow, look at this again, still battling side by side. René Rast then wants that podium spot. Look at this, they're side by side. And well, Rockefeller now really showing his experience levels there. Look at his smile, the sinister smile on Rockefeller's face. He knew exactly what he was doing there, but they are all still battling for that podium spot there. So it looks like Nico Müller and Freins are going to be P1 and P2, depending, we don't know what the order's going to be, but this is now the battle for the podium. Again, very similar to the race number 1, where the race lead was kind of done, but the 3rd spot on the podium, of course, was not yet finished. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go, so they've still got 2 laps remaining of our first couple of rounds of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. And well, your guess is as good as mine, Oliver, as who's going to get this final podium spot.
I'm not quite sure, but look at the damage at the car of René Rast. So the bonnet may be opening in the, or maybe open in the last laps. And I found another good fact where René is trying to pass Mike Rockefeller, but he did not manage. But a nice fact that Kelvin van der Linde was on pole for this race, and his brother was in his debut in DTM in the last season, 2019. So it was Sheldon van der Linde in a BMW for his first ever pole in DTM.
Oh wow, that is great facts. Again, you're going to have Oliver for the next 5 weeks just throwing stats on your left, right and centre, so make yourself ready for that, that's for sure. Great mind there, of course, with the DTM Championship. But again, we're on board then with Auer, who is in the first BMW, currently in P6. We can see that Brody Green actually has just lost a position. He's down to P9. No, sorry, that's Ben Green, sorry, who's now in P9. Brody Steen is currently P7. So he's coming through the pack here. Not quite going to get the victory, I don't think. But you see in front then, we've got René Rast, Kelvin van der Linde, and Rockefeller still trying or vying for that P3 right now. And actually, they're not far away from Freins. So Freins is actually being caught by these drivers. Nico Müller is off on his own, Oliver.
Yeah, well, we're on board with Kelvin van der Linde, who's battling Mike Rockefeller on 4th position. But I want to say what a great race Brody Steen has done. He started from the back of the pack, and he's up to 7th position at the moment. We did not see him that often in the cameras. He's in the picture back. We've seen him on start finish line at the moment, but he did quite a good race. But there is a lot of battling going on in the front pack. We've seen the yellow stripes on the windshield of René Rast. One car is spun.
There, they did spin. So Kelvin van der Linde then. It's Rockefeller that spun. And well, we'll actually be able to talk to him in a minute about that. But he's still smiling. He's like, yeah, these things happen, I guess. But yeah, Kelvin van der Linde, René Rast and himself battling as close as they were, as hard as they were. It was inevitably going to end up like that, I would imagine, especially with how big these cars are to how indeed technical this circuit is. Look at this though then. It's Kelvin van der Linde and René Rast once again. It's round 2 here. Looks like Nico Müller will take the checkered flag, and it will be Freins in second. But who's going to get that final podium spot then? You can see that René Rast then with that yellow little sun shield on the windscreen there. It's still trying to get past Kelvin. Kelvin doing his utmost then to try and hold on to this position. And I wonder whether we might see a little bump to pass then from René Rast. It's going to be close. You can see that car's definitely being used to its maximum, let's say, with the damage on the front of the car. Kelvin then trying to hold on to this P3, and you can see the front 2 cars then will indeed be our P1 and P2. So it will be Nico Müller that takes race 2. It will be Freins who takes race 3. But look at this then. Kelvin van der Linde has gone so defensive here. And now, has he just missed the apex? No, he's not. He's done fine. He's run a little bit wide. Yes, he has. René Rast then is going to try and get around the outside. It is a drag race. It is a drag race. Contact between the 2 drivers, and Kelvin van der Linde will take the podium. But it's all about Nico Müller. Nico Müller battled for about 7-8 minutes of this race to try and get to the lead, and once he did, he's absolutely run away with it. What a race. But it will be Nico Müller who takes P1. It'll be Freins that takes P2, and Kelvin van der Linde will get that P3.
Congratulations, the double GT Masters champion is sitting in his simulator and being happy about the third position he got. But congratulations to Nico Müller, the Swiss guy who won this race. Robin Freins for second spot. Then Calvin van der Linde. Rennie Rast managed to take the line on P4, just in front of the faster BMW's Lucas Auer. Then we got Brody Steen managing to gain some 15 spots in this race, finishing P6.
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out, of course, to Brody Steen. Of course, was at the back of the grid, managed to get up to P6, got the fastest lap of the race as well, all in the Mustang. So what an incredible set of races that has been. What a kickoff then for the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. But it will be indeed Nico Müller who takes P1. But Ollie, looks like we've got a very special guest for our final interview today. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, welcome, Mike Rockenfeller. What a thrilling race. You finished at P7, but talk us through what happened.
I don't know. I mean, I improved a bit for a second race, so I started on P4, 5, something like this. And then actually was okay. The start was good. The Audi is pretty good on straight line. Not that great in the corners, but really, really good in acceleration. So then I was, I think, P3. One more lap to go, and I think if there would be a race director, I'm sure, I don't know who it was, René or Kelvin van der Linde, somebody turned me around in the last lap. I think otherwise, yeah, it was a good fight and it was just fun.
You're getting more and more used for doing esports. How do you feel? You're racing, or you have your own racing series, the RCCO Race Home, and now in DTM Classic Challenge. Is it okay for you to manage your free time like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the edge. I have to say, I like the one we do. I think it's great because it's for charity, and I think this one is good as well. Right now, until we can race hopefully again on a real track, it's cool to meet the other guys, but obviously it's not comparable to real racing. The emotions and, you know, the feelings you have in a real car for sure is not the same. And when you have kids, family, it's not that easy to spend all the time in the sim. So I think the guys without a family, let's say, or without kids, they have much more time, and you can see that they practice more. So I'm struggling a little bit.
I don't see you sweat, even though you're in your race suit. Isn't it that concentrating, whatever?
Well, yeah, I'm sweated. Don't see the sweat, but for sure it's always tough, you know, especially when you fight there for a podium with those guys. It's good fun, but I think they were not 100% fair, but it's okay. I was cutting also too much. It was not an issue, so all good. We had fun, and now I will get out of my suit and play a bit outside with my children.
Thank you very much, Mike Rockenfeller. It was great watching you driving this race.
Thanks. Have fun. See you next time.
See you.
That's the beauty of this championship, though, Oliver, isn't it? We get to talk to all of the drivers and stuff. We get to see their reactions as well, like the smiles on their faces. Just kind of sums up what this is all about. And, well, there we go. We are at the end of today's event. Of course, we were in the 1992s. Next week, join us, the 10th of May. Same time, it'll be 1400 hours CEST time. So if you're watching in the UK, that'll be 1 p.m. BST. That'll be midday GMT. That's correct. We're going to be in the DTM 2013 cars. Oliver, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it just as much as I have. But what a set of races.
I did. Thank you very much, Luke Crane. Thank you, everyone in front of the computers and TV screens. Hope to see you next week again. So far, so good. Keep home, keep calm, and stay healthy.
Absolutely, guys. Make sure you stay home, stay safe. We'll see you next week for the DTM Esports Classic Challenge.